Welcome to the debate team, everyone. In the next couple of days, we're going to be hearing lots of rumors, reports, and news about new designated players coming to MLS. Obviously, there are already some signings that have happened. DC with Boscovich, Blazing Kufo joining Seattle, and the latest one, Mista joining Toronto FC as their second designated player, which brings us to the rule change that took place this year, allowing teams a second designated player and the ability to pay some sort of a luxury tax to have a third designated player. So we thought we would discuss the DP a little bit and see what do teams really want to get out of it, and is it worth it in the end to get a DP, considering that no DP team or team with a designated player has won the MLS Cup.
Yeah, I mean, you can point to the no one has won MLS Cup. The rule's only been in effect for 3 years. You look at some of the selections that were made, and there were definitely poor ones. Danielson was terrible. Marcelo Gallardo was not the right fit for this league. Claudio Reyna, not a good pick. But there's plenty of guys out there who have helped their teams tremendously. You look at Juan Pablo Angel, Beckham, I would say Donovan Lundberg. Donovan obviously is a designated player now. Cuauhtemoc Blanco, Emilio and Schelotto were two different guys who were kind of rewarded with designated player contracts for helping their teams succeed. So to me, the rule is a good rule. The teams need to figure out how to use it and how to become successful with it.
I don't differentiate the designated player from the developmental player in my mind, because in the sense that soccer has shown and MLS has shown over the years that the teams that have the best squads, that have the best players overall in all positions, it's 11 players on the field, 28 deep in terms of roster, those are the ones that are going to succeed. Columbus, Salt Lake, these are the teams that continue to show without designated players that they on the field, they play great soccer and they can succeed without. LA just did it without Beckham for the whole season.
But they've been doing it with Landon Donovan. Right. Last season they had Beckham for a lot of the time. Right? And they did get to the final. It's not like they didn't have success. I mean, they reached the MLS Cup final, and they lost in penalties. It's not as if Real Salt Lake were that much better than LA last year.
The biggest part of this rule and the new version of the rule, where each team has 2 and potentially up to 3, is that it expands the players you can go get. So you look at Toronto. Toronto was a team that really needs help up top. Well, in the old rule, they have Julian de Guzman as their designated player. They don't have very many options to go out, find a forward who's going to impact their team and fit them under the cap. Now, teams have the option. They are unlimited. They could go find anyone that they can pay for because they have another designated player slot. That, in the long run, is going to help a lot of teams win games and improve themselves. And the designated player rule is going to be very important as we move forward.
You just said in the long run that's going to help them win games. That doesn't help them win games in the long run. That helps them win games now. Right now.
Well, that's when you need to win, right? Coaches need to win now. So that's what I'm saying, that the designated player rule helps. It's perfect for teams to be able to go out and find talent to fit their needs.
It only helps with tickets sold. The DP, if you're spending that much money, it would be foolish to get a player that doesn't help you in terms of selling tickets. So it helps you with that, because what I think it does, it makes teams in MLS lazier.
You win
because the Mista player, you could have probably found a guy in Uruguay or Paraguay who could have filled that same role. So it makes teams lazier because you go for the bigger names.
You
go for the names that people know.
You're assuming a little bit there to say that you could just go to Paraguay and find that guy.
I mean, was this really about going to get look, Mista obviously has a very nice resume.
I'll give you an example.
In Spain.
I'll give you an example. DC, they just signed this player,
Branko
Hernandez.
Boscovich.
No, forget about
Hernandez,
Boscovich. Hernandez.
Yep.
The scouting report we have on Hernandez is he is a great second forward, someone who can play behind the target striker, who has great skill and ability, runs for 90 minutes. He's 23. They found him in the Uruguayan league, not a DP. And here we have Mista,
that same team also went out.
injury prone, and bigger name, paying a lot more money. So I think, MLS teams, sure, it should only help paying over that number. What's the number? 350?
335.
Should only 335 should only help you in the stands if you're paying that much money. because otherwise you can do it for much more economical, cost-effective ways with other players.
You're assuming too much there. You're assuming that it's so easy to go to South America or Central America and find this impactful player. You're not always going to be able to do that. The designated player rule allows you to go out and find players to come in, fit your holes without limitations, without having to go to Panama and find that,
But actually, what
second
Simon
forward.
said is that it's not easy to find that. When he talks about sort of this laziness, I'm not sure I agree with that, but when he says there's a form of laziness in that, you end up not doing the work, because he's saying it's not easy to find that guy in Uruguay.
Hey,
but you have to do the work to
you're
do it.
assuming-
Bruce
Does
Arena
DC
did it.
United
Bruce Arena
not
went to
do
Brazil.
work?
Bruce Arena went to Brazil, and he found the 3 Brazilians that are making a big difference.
Real Salt Lake went down to Argentina, and they found a
Now-
bunch of players down there in Colombia.
Right, so our teams do the work, and they also have the option of going out and buying better players.
But
Why is that
the
bad?
players that LA are buying, except for Donovan, and Donovan's been in this league for many years, so I don't really put him in the DP category, although technically he is. But Beckham helps in the stands. Beckham
but
helps
he
in the
also
stands
helps on the
more,
field.
No, a lot more than he helps on the field. LA has done it
I
without
disagree.
him.
With
I
him on the
disagree.
field last year,
LA
they
has
made it
done
to the
without him this
finals.
time. With him on the field, I agree with that. Last year, Beckham had a huge impact on the field as well. Not just in the stands. Yes, he has an impact in the stands, but he also had a great impact on the league.
Go back to 2008. Does the Red Bulls make it to MLS Cup without Angel on the field? No. So they got a guy who helped them on the field and helped them succeed, right? So why should it only be about filling seats? It's about finding players who can help your team in all aspects, but most importantly, it's on the field.
Right, but it's a tougher find. That's a lot tougher find to find someone who can help you both on the field and off the field.
But you have
How
the
many guys
option
are
to
out there
do it.
right now?
But
How
you
many
have
guys
the
are out
option
there
to do
right
it.
now? Put Ronaldinho aside. How many guys right now can you go out and buy and help you on both sides of the
And
on both
legitimately
sides?
afford,
Thierry
outside
Henry.
of a Messi,
Yeah.
Cristiano
I-
Ronaldo, a player like that.
I went digging up names. I mean, Deco, who apparently the Brazilian club's taking. Raul, who apparently wants to go maybe Man U, and Schalke is mentioned. What other names are there? Steven Apia maybe is practical. Fernando Morientes practical. They're not helping you in the stands.
Remember, it doesn't have to be that guy. What my argument is, it doesn't have to be that guy to help you in the stands. If Branko Boskovic comes in and helps DC make the playoffs after the terrible start to their season, they've used the designated player spot
You
perfectly.
could have done it a lot more cost effectively. That's the point I'm making.
You're making assumptions.
Well, I think we're all making assumptions on this one. But the designated player rule is here, and it's set, and it's changed. And obviously, over the next couple of days, we're going to hear some more news about them. You can email us at thedaily@mlssoccer.com as they start to happen, and give us your opinions on the various DPs that get signed. That's it for this debate team, but we'll be back a little bit later on for some more.